Hi everybody, I'm Marcus Lemonis, and this next video is going to help you get more for your trade. I'm going to give you the tricks to get you more money for your unit. So what questions do you have that most consumers have?
What can consumers do, what can a customer do to maximize the value of their trade?
Okay, so look, take this unit for example, right? At the end of the day, what I want the consumer to do is think about how they would sell their home. You're going to do the kinds of things that are needed to increase curb appeal, have it look right. And so when a customer comes in to trade in their unit, they should be starting the process by thinking about, if I was the buyer of my unit, what would I like? So number one, probably a pretty good idea to heavily wash in detail the unit, to take away any blemishes that are out there, eliminate any odors that are out there, and put Armor All on the tires, right? Make sure that the wheel wells don't have mud in it. Mm-hmm. If there's small scratches, try to buff them out, and really make sure that things are clean. In this particular unit, the customer traded the unit in, they didn't clean the glass. Okay, it seems like a small thing, but why not clean things? As you look up at the awnings, are there stains? Are there tears? What can I do to clean it? So as I go around the unit, and I've done this for years, I am looking at the unit as a buyer and as an appraiser, and I need consumers to do the same thing. So before you take your unit in to trade it in, walk around the coach and make notes of all the things that you think are wrong. Are my steps sturdy? Are all the bolts there? What scratches are there? Come down here and get into your tires. Put your finger in the tires. See if it goes deep in or it doesn't. Dealer's going to do that. Private party's going to do that. So as you go around, do all your lights work? Turn your lights on, check them. Open up the compartments. Okay, everything clean? Does it all work?
Everything's there.
Yeah, it's everything.
It should be.
Exactly. Screen door, kind of a big deal, right? Is the screen in good shape? Seems like a small detail, but if I see a tear here and your cat tore it or your dog tore it, well, I got to spend some money to do it.
Okay.
Get underneath, see if you see any rust. Check all the storage compartments. Come around the front. Obviously, you're going to make sure the lights work. You're going to check all the jacks. You're just going to make sure things are there. People buy first with their eyes. Big scratches, big problem.
Okay.
Missing pieces, big problem. Delamination, big problem. Missing stickers, big problem. Non-working lights, big problem. Test your slides. Go ahead and bring them in and out.
Okay.
Just move this one. I want to show you what I'm talking about. So we know what it should sound like. It sounds smooth. Make sure all the hoses are right. Make sure the attachments are right. The gray water, the black water. Make sure that everything ultimately is functioning. Let's go in on the inside. I'll show you a couple of things that I think people typically forget. So as we come in here, the first thing that I want people to be cognizant of is the smell. Where do the smells typically come from?
From the fabrics and the walls. Oh, the fridge.
Fridge. Spend a lot of time and get everything out of your fridge.
Okay.
And disinfect it. And have it smell perfectly clean. And don't just use straight bleach, because then it starts to smell like
bleach.
A pool.
Yeah.
Right? Make sure that it's clean. I have a funny saying about buying real estate, which is what I consider an RV. Mm-hmm. If anybody's butt, hands, or feet touched it, I want to make sure that it's
it's the cleanest
It's the
ever.
butt, hands, and feet thing, okay?
It's a good rule. It's a good rule of thumb.
I would start in the kitchen by making sure the refrigerator and the freezer are spotless.
Okay.
The oven has to be spotless.
Okay.
And that doesn't include just inside. The cooktop, if you get something that feels like it's a little worn out, like this grill, spend a couple bucks, get it replaced, get it painted, do something to make it look perfect.
Okay.
Microwave. Sometimes people don't put a paper towel over their...
Splatters everywhere.
Splatters everywhere. The glass, the inside, this tray. Wipe all the cabinets out, make sure they're clean, make sure the sink is clean. In this particular unit, because it's a little newer, it doesn't have an odor, but most odors seep into the
floor, the carpet,
drapes, the valances, some of the fabric. The answer isn't just spray it all with Febreze.
That's not going to fix it.
As you get into summer and the heat kicks up, whatever spills or stains or things that are in the fabric or the carpets, they're actually going to get accentuated.
Okay.
They're going to get, it's going to get pretty
It's gonna
funky
get
pretty
gross.
fast. Make sure all the bulbs are right. And not just make sure that they're working, but make sure that the color temperature that you've put in all the bulbs is also right. Like, I don't want to see
Okay.
a yellow bulb here, warm,
Okay.
and a white bulb, cold here. What's the number one thing that normally creeps people out?
Bathrooms.
The bathroom. Please, please make sure there's no stains. Make sure it's clean and make sure it doesn't smell.
Okay.
As you come into the shower, same kind of concept. Want to make sure that there's no hair in the drain.
Right.
Things are going to gross people out. I want you to go through and test every single outlet,
Okay.
every single outlet that's in the unit, to find out if there's a fuse problem, to find out if something's not working, test the water pressure, and please don't leave your personal products. As you come into the bedroom, I want to make sure that I don't see anything soiled.
Okay.
You want it to feel as what I call in the wrapper as possible, as clean
Okay.
as possible. So I'm going to put my body down here, but I want to know that it's really clean. And how I'm going to tell it's clean?
You're gonna
With
smell.
my eyes
Eyes.
and with my nose.
Okay.
Okay? I know that certain people smoke, but I would avoid it because the way that these walls are built and the ceilings is everything's relatively porous.
Okay.
And so it's not going to be as easy to get it out as you may think. And so be super conscious of that. Okay? Make sure you're not leaving anything behind. What's the one thing that's missing from here that we haven't seen out on the counter? Manuals.
Manuals.
All my manuals, extra set of keys. Be nice to have it in some sort of folder or taped to something
Okay.
so that you show that. So that's the aesthetic part of it. But as a buyer, I guess I have a couple of other questions. So do you have the maintenance records for your unit?
I do.
You do? Where are they?
They're in the kitchen cabinet.
Great. So we want to make sure that we have them out and available. So any warranty record, any maintenance record, changing of tires, changing of appliances, don't try to hide it. And as the seller of the unit, here's what I would say. I've done all the maintenance. I know the used inventory market is a very robust, healthy, tight supply, heavy demand market.
Okay.
I don't expect to get retail for my unit. I understand that's how it works. But I also don't expect to get ripped off. And so what I'm expecting for my unit is something that's commensurate with the pride and joy that I've taken care of it with.
Okay.
Expect that somebody, either a private party or a dealer, is going to do what's called a trade walk around.
Okay.
They're going to be working to suppress the value by pointing out the bad things. You're going to be working to
Increase the value.
increase the value by pointing out all the answers that you have. Own the things that are wrong and defend the things that are right. Stand behind them.
Okay.
Any other questions about trading your unit in?
When we're negotiating the value of it, what's the one thing that you would suggest customers really focus on?
They should
Or fight for.
Yeah, they should do a little research online about
Okay.
what the wholesale value of the unit is.
Okay.
Not the value. So the Kelly Blue Book is retail. Really want to understand, what is the NADA wholesale value?
Okay.
Is it in rough condition, fair condition, good condition, or excellent condition? And then understand in that realm is where you want to, start to defend your position. And absolutely, unequivocally, when you've gotten your final trade number, always ask for a little more. Because that dealer's going to take that unit in,
Okay.
they're going to put it through their shop, they're going to recondition it. Because you've taken good care of it, they're not going to have to put as much into it.
Right.
And then they're going to sell it to another consumer, and they're going to make money, which is fine. I just want to make sure that you don't leave any money on the table.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, that's everything. Thanks.
Go get more for your trade.